Bam. Bam, my peoples. What a night of boxing. What a Saturday. El General Emiliano Vargas ended his fight with an explosive knockout. Devastating blow. It was a quick pullback counter. Boom! And when I say a quick one, boom! No time to react for his opponent who ate that shot flush, went down, and it was a knockout. That counted out. He couldn't even make it up in time. So devastating blow by Emiliano Vargas to win, stay undefeated. Congratulations, bam, to Emiliano Vargas. Fernando Vargas doing a great job with his son. Shushu Carrington fought a tough opponent yesterday. Shushu had somebody who was there to fight. Guy who kept letting his hands go no matter what. And once again, showed us that he's a special fighter. And of course, Xander Zayas. Xander Zayas had a tough opponent in front of him that was not going away. And I said it yesterday, this is the type of fight that you need in that process of development. Yesterday, he became the youngest reigning world champion in boxing at 22 years old. So, historic night. And I expect a lot of great things from Xander Zayas. I can tell you that right now. So, we're going to talk about these fights, man, and what's next for these fighters. How is it going to play out from here on out with Xander Zayas already being a champion? Shushu Carrington, you see it. You see the type of fighter. Every time he steps in the ring, we see something special. We saw that yesterday, too. It was no different. All three of these young guns showed out. That's the way to describe it. They showed out yesterday. Great performances from all of them. And y'all know yours truly, Jay Smith, was calling this fight. Welcome to Boxing for Breakfast. I'm your host, Jay Smith, and we're about to give you this healthy dosage of sweet science at 8:30 in the morning, my peoples. Let's get it. What a night of boxing. Come on, man. Come on, man. It was a good one. It was a good one. Look, I'm watching Emiliano Vargas getting ready to step in the ring, do what he does. He looked real relaxed. El General was with his pops and whatnot. And I said, let's see. This is a night where you have three young guns, and I feel like they're all going to really try to show out, show their talent. They're on a big stage. And wow, Emiliano Vargas was just destructive, my people. The way, first of all, that fight, you could see that it was going to be fast-paced. Emiliano Vargas, was going to the body right away, hard punches. In the first round, it's almost like they didn't spend much time trying to, find that rhythm or get into it or feel each other out. There was none of that. Emiliano Vargas went out swinging, my people. Early, you already saw the bombs flying. I was calling the fight. I was like, yo, listen, we've seen the fireworks early in the first round. There's going to be something right here. We're going to get fireworks. And that's exactly what it was. Emiliano Vargas ended the night early with that knockout. And it was quite brutal. Quite brutal, if I may say. It was this. This is exactly what Emiliano Vargas did. Boom! The right hand, my peoples. That pullback counter. Boom. Like, the way that he timed it. That's the one thing about a pullback counter. If you time it perfect, when that punch lands, your opponent's arm is still out there. Boom! So he's not really able to react to it. And that's what happened, man. Emiliano Vargas timed it perfectly and ended the night in the first round. What more can I say, my people? When a fighter does it in the first round, with a devastating one-punch knockout. What more can you say? Emiliano Vargas, El General, was absolutely destructive. When you see a fighter go like this in that fight, boom, and it's over. That was the way that the fight ended. Come on now, that's ESPN top 10 plays type of right hand that we watched. So Emiliano Vargas, let's see what's next. Let's see how much time it's gonna take before he's gunning for a title shot, because obviously this young man is very talented and he's gonna be shooting for the top. That's what you can expect from Emiliano Vargas. He's gunning for the top. Mr. Shushu Carrington, my peoples. Whoa. Whoa. His opponent is someone who I was not familiar with. I mean, no. Wait a minute. I've seen some highlight videos of him. Didn't really know him like that. But I can tell you that Shushu Carrington's opponent was there to fight. He wasn't there to play games. He was there to really take it to him, really try to take it from him. This guy, look, I'm going to even show you guys a clip, if I may, if you don't mind. This guy, you know, he's really good. He was putting hands on Shushu too. The difference is the levels. You could tell that Shushu was the more talented fighter of the two. That jab was so sharp, man. Shushu, my people, did you see Shushu Carrington's jab? Did you notice how it's like a whip, like so fast? Like Shushu be like that thing be, well, obviously I can't be that fast, but that thing was like a whip. It's like you could see that this man just looking at it going, pop, pop, catching him in the face piece. Jump him. Salute, my brother. So, yo, Shushu Carrington, with the type of opponent that he had yesterday, he was able to display a lot from his bag of tools. And I like to see that. You know, I like to see that. John Parham, Shu looked decent. Honestly, I felt like he looked more than decent. And I'm going to tell you why. The level of skills that I saw from his opponent. I feel like his opponent was really, really good. You know, a guy, not just a fighter who can trade with you, but you saw his opponent also using the footwork, making sure chasing him around at times. So I would say that because he had that type of opponent and he was able to land the shots that and by the way, man, damn, that guy can take a shot. Shushu was landing bombs on him. Bombs, right? Boom, 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 boom. Twisting his head around. This guy wasn't trying to go away, man. He wasn't trying to do it, my people. But Shushu Carrington showed out. So now that's the second fight. So now we know Xander Zayas. Now we know Emiliano Vargas, El General, did his thing in explosive fashion. Okay, we know that. And then Shushu Carrington had to go the distance. Had a tough opponent in front of him. Ultimately, walked out of there with the unanimous decision. And then Xander Zayas also had a tough opponent. You know, a guy with over 30 wins, 3 losses. Who could fight. But let me see, my people. Oh, by the way, Emiliano Vargas' knockout. Look at this. Yo, Emiliano Vargas' knockout, my people. It came 20 seconds into the fight. Look, remember I was telling you I was a pullback counter? Yo, check out the pullback counter, bro. Like, that was quite brutal. Brutal, I tell you. Check it out. Emiliano Vargas, and I say, yo, this is gonna be a fight. When I saw Emiliano go to the body like that, you saw the left hook. When I saw Emiliano going, you know, be that aggressive that early on, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be serious right here. And there goes the right hand right there, destructive, my people. Emiliano Vargas showed the one-punch knockout power. That right hand, that pullback counter. Look, my man's in him. He couldn't even get up, baby. Couldn't even get up. John Parham, after you seen Shields fight, you think she could beat Ali in her prime? Um, it's hard to say because styles make fights, John Parham. Styles make fights, man. But honestly, I still got Clarissa Shields winning that fight. If they both in their prime, both the same age, I got Shields winning simply because I think she's the more aggressive fighter. The fighter who's gonna be letting her hands go more. John Parham Vargas cooked, bro. That knockout, that was just look, boom, yo in the replay you can see, and I was saying it earlier, you know, El General timed that pullback counter perfectly. Look, boom, right in the kisser, devastating blow, my people. Juan Ocasio, let's go, Xander. Yo, look, man, I don't understand how some people still, boom, look at that counter. That was a devastating blow, ladies and gentlemen. Devastating blow. Look. Boom! Where is the rocket launcher? Where is the rocket launcher, my people? Where is Emiliano Vargas hiding his rocket launcher? Because that was a missile of a right hand. Come on now, my people. John Parham, Juan. But where was his power last night? So, there you have it, my peoples. You know, Emiliano Vargas is showing the type of power that he has. He's, little by little, he's putting the division on notice. There you have it. Little by little, Emiliano Vargas is saying, yo, I'm on my way. Be ready. I'm on my way. Then, my peoples, that was that was just such a destructive first round, my peoples. Come on, let's keep it 100. By the way, I got one like. You're gonna do me like this. Boxing for breakfast, Saturday morning edition. I'm giving you, and I get one like, damn. What's going on out here these days? Juan Ocasio, that was a tough Mexican. Samuel Lozada, good morning. Do you think Zayas is ready for Fundora? I think so, man. I'm not gonna predict that fight. I'm not gonna tell you win, lose, none of that. But I think he is ready. And as a matter of fact, he won in Fundora. Let me remind you that Xander Zayas fought for the title that was left vacant by Fundora. He was Fundora's mandatory. And Fundora opted to do the rematch with Tim Tszyu, which that's a great fight, and Fundora also showed out. My peoples, enter Shushu Carrington. Did you watch Shushu Carrington perform yesterday? I gotta tell you, his opponent is somebody who I've only seen a few highlight reels. Didn't know him like that, but this guy can fight. He was there to take it to Shushu. But that's what happened in this fight is what you see when there's a difference in levels. Shushu was doing things out there, that you don't see every fighter do. Landing some type of combinations, landing body shots, head shots, a lot of combinations in between that. He would land a left and a right to the body and then a left to the head. Then he would go a left and a right to the head and a left to the body. So Shushu was putting together so many different combinations and landing flush. But he had an opponent that was ready to eat everything he had. All those punches, his opponent was taking them and still fighting back the whole fight. Juan Ocasio, that dude hater, came to fight. My peoples, I said it yesterday. Shushu Carrington was dealing with a real hater. Real talk. Samuel Lozada, he was very swift. Oh, hell yeah. If you notice, Shushu Carrington was doing a great... Ooh, look at the combinations. The right hook to the body. And then to the melon piece. If you noticed yesterday, man, Shushu Carrington showed that, number one, he can bang with you on the inside, but also that he's very nimble on his feet. He can bounce around. He can move around. He can set you up. And with the counter punches. Shushu don't play. And the thing is, man, Shushu Carrington is a dangerous fighter for you to stand in there and try to trade with him. You can't trade with him because he's very good at making you miss and making you pay right there from up close. Pop, 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 pop. Feeding you that steady dosage of leather. Come on, bro. Feeding you that dosage. Virgil is the interim champ for the WBC. Fundora is a super WBC champ. They should fight. I mean, look, Virgil Ortiz and Fundora is a fight that everybody wants to see. Everybody is interested in. Let's see. I like it. I like it. You know that the name that was being floated around with Virgil was Jerron Boots Ennis. Now we know that fight is not happening. We got to see. Juan Ocasio, that was best I seen. Shushu fight, man. Shushu was spectacular yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. Like, he had a very, very tough opponent in front of him. Luke B, professional haters exist. Luke B, Stephen A. Smith is a professional hater. I understand, Luke B, but this is a boxing channel, and we're talking about boxing, and you're talking about professional haters? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, I think you're gonna need a little break so you can think that over, and then when you come back, you could, talk about boxing. John Parham, Luke, you hating on the. Now Luke is gonna take a little break. He good. So my peoples, again, I felt like, Shushu is the type of fighter who's gonna, accomplish a lot of big things, man. He's gonna not just become a world champion. If you see the way that he performed yesterday against an aggressive fighter, a fighter who was throwing a lot of punches. Look, man, you gotta show respect for Shushu Carrington's opponent because this guy was eating some nasty leather. He was getting caught with some monster shots, and he kept going forward, kept fighting back, and Shushu stuck with the game plan. But it's like I said, man, those combinations. You imagine your Shushu. This is Shushu Carrington right here. Look, from the inside, point blank range. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Like, just catching them with clean, sharp punches straight to the head, moving his head around. This dude wasn't trying to go away, my peoples. He wasn't having it. He was not having it. Shushu Carrington, it got to a point where most of his punches seemed to be landing. Look. The combinations, the left, the right. You saw how he spun him around? That's little things that you may not notice, during the action. Shushu, pop, pop, spin him around. Pop, pop, give him some more. The whole night, feeding my mans a steady dosage of leather. That's Shushu Carrington. That's how he played it out. So you already see what I told you. El General Emiliano Vargas showed out. Shushu Carrington showed out, my people. That's the type of fight that was. He had a very tough opponent in front of him. That didn't matter. That did not matter. Shushu did what he went over there to do. And then, my people, Xander Zayas, I told you yesterday he was going to make history. I said, yo, listen, Xander Zayas is going to make history. At 22 years old, the youngest reigning champion in boxing right now. And there you have it. There you have it, my peoples. Xander Zayas, man. Look, this is what I was impressed with the most with Xander Zayas. Jay Will, I need you to stick to the subject, my brother. You want to talk about something else? We don't do that. We talking about Xander Zayas. So take a time out, and when you come back, stick to the topic, my brother. We're not doing that. My peoples, did you see Xander Zayas? My peoples, we talking about yesterday's fights. I don't want to be sending people on break, but right now we talking about yesterday's fights. Don't be changing the subject on me. Xander Zayas, I don't know if it could be a Xander Zayas hater that don't want Xander to get his credit for becoming the youngest reigning world champion, my peoples. Xander Zayas at 22 years old. So if you see why all this time I've been on the Xander Zayas bandwagon, there you have it, my peoples. Come on now. OD Ray, we talking boxing over here. I think you're going to need a timeout so you can come back and reflect and come back talking about boxing. My peoples, I got 3 likes. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm giving you the real deal on what took place yesterday. Those fights were spectacular. Special. And Xander Zayas, what impressed me personally, what impressed me the most is the way that Xander Zayas was able to use his footwork, bounce around, set him up, set up his opponent. This was not. Oh, you saw the right hook from Xander Zayas right in the wig piece. This was not the version of Zayas that was just gonna stand there with you and trade and bang with you. Xander Zayas was fighting, trading, but also using his footwork, moving around, making them chase. This kid is special, my people. Now, when you see that I compare him to Tito Trinidad, look, at 22 years old, he's already a world champion. And I said, this kid is going to be the face of boxing in Puerto Rico. The face of Puerto Rican boxing, Xander Zayas. Come on. Xander Zayas is him. He's him. And now that he's already a world champion, let's see where he's headed. Let's see where he's headed, bud. And I'm going to remind y'all, Xander was trying to get a fight with Tim Tszyu. He was trying to get a fight with Fondora. This kid is really about that smoke. This kid is really about that action. Raw dog. Tito had that power. Ooh, my God. Tito Trinidad was one of my favorite fighters, man. One of my favorites. And it's one of my favorite all-time fighters. Look, I'm going to tell y'all like this. In my opinion, Tito Trinidad is arguably the best welterweight fighter ever. You can make that argument for Tito Trinidad. Just think about it. He had the second or third most defenses in the division, but it's not just that he never lost at welterweight. It's the way that he won. How spectacular. Now, I gotta say, Terence Crawford had a run in the welterweight division. Knocked out everybody he faced at 147. But Tito Trinidad had the opportunity to face bigger names in that division, more names, because people actually was willing to fight him. We know that nobody wanted to fight Terence Crawford. If not, he would have had a crazy run in the welterweight division. You imagine if Crawford at welterweight, when they was all undefeated, fought Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, if he would have fought all 3 of them, and then Errol Spence, if he would have fought all 4 of them, bam, 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 he would have been labeled the PBC killer. Mew, Tito or Bud has nothing to do with the fight last night. Okay, Mew, I appreciate the correction. You could come back in 30 minutes if you want to correct me again, family. I'm the host. I'll do whatever I want. You stay on topic, sucker. So, my people, let me know what you think about last night. Who was the more spectacular fighter? Y'all tell me. Who had the more spectacular performance? We had Emiliano Vargas, pullback counter, boom, night. Then we had Shushu Carrington landing all types of combinations, boom, 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 just going berserk. Shushu Carrington was going berserk out there. And then, of course, Xander Zayas, we saw that the development in that footwork, the movement around the ring. Obviously, the offensive firepower. Who do you guys think showed out the most yesterday? Because all 3 showed out, let's face it. We have to keep it 100. All 3 fighters showed out, had a performance. Underrated Will, Shushu, John Parham. Now with the BS this morning. You know we not having it. Let's get the likes up, my people. 6 likes, come on now, man. Don't do me like this. Rafael. They blackballed Crawford. Vargas had the best performance. Listen, man. It's hard to argue against Emiliano Vargas. Boom! Pull back counter. Timed perfectly for a devastating knockout. Raw dog. The Vargas KO was what I like, man. One punch, 20 seconds into the first round. Are you kidding me? Bro, are you kidding me? Boom! Whoa. That's an ESPN top 10 kind of highlight. Juan Ocasio, all three definitely did. Underrated Will. J. Smith, I sent you a message yesterday. Via what? Via what application did you send the underrated Will? Oh, okay. Okay, underrated Will. I see you. Salute, my G. You know what it is. John Parham, what does Xander weigh in at? I think he weighed like 153.9. Something like that. I think he was right below the 154 limit. Samuel Lazada, I think Shushu should have dropped him the way he was tapped. Bro, this guy was eating all type of punches and he refused to go down. Not only did he refuse to go down, he kept going forward and throwing punches. This guy never stopped punching. Never. Even between punches. Even as Shushu was lacing him, feeding him a steady dosage of leather, this guy was like... fighting back the whole time. You hear what I'm saying? So salute. Hold on, man, because in a way, man, I'm being disrespectful, man. I haven't even said Shushu Carrington opponent name, and I don't like to do that, my people. I really, give fighters their respect. You know what I'm saying? Can y'all tell me the name of Shushu Carrington opponent's name? I'll look him up. But, show respect to the fighters. I want to see what's his name so I could, address him properly and whatnot. The Nobody. What's up, Jay Smith? What was your thoughts on Rohan Polanco's performance? Damn, yo. What? I'm wilding out, bro. I really spoke about 3 fights and missed out Rohan Polanco's fight. My Dominican brother. What am I doing out here? What am I doing out here? So, listen. I loved Rohan Polanco's performance. And I'm going to tell you why. He had a very tough opponent in front of him. Who, you could see that he was more skilled. But he had somebody that was there to fight. That was there to push him. And I always say this, and I maintain it. Young fighters like Rohan, they need that type of opponents. Because those are the type of fighters that are going to make you, use everything that you worked on. Pull out all of the tools in the bag. Because look at Emiliano Vargas. That was the most spectacular knockout of the night. The only knockout. But you have to take into account how do you grow from that when you just want punch, boom. So you don't develop as much in fight as you do when you go the distance and you have to do all these different things. Use a lot of your defensive tools. Use a lot of your effort, to go in, to go out, to figure it out, to change strategy, to adapt. You don't have to do any of that if you finish a fight in 20 seconds. So, but like I said, man, it was an amazing performance from everybody. It just was. The Manzana, happy weekend, everyone. John Parham, Shushu is an intelligent dude outside of boxing. Very smart guy. Very smart guy. Juan Ocasio, Juanmita. Ooh, Juanmita can fight. He's on the come up. A lot of people don't know about Juanmita. He on the come up. John Parham, Edward Diaz, and Tony Harrison was a good fight. Man, I watched the highlights. I could see that they was going back and forth. Couldn't see the fight because at that very same time, Xander Zayas was fighting too. So I just saw the highlights, kind of saw a little bit of what was going on over there. But I was focused on Zayas and the performance that he was putting together. John Parham, definitely some good boxing last night. The nobody. Was you able to see John Santana's performance? I was not able to see it, my brother. Was not able to see it. I actually started. I tuned in when right before Rohan Polanco. Or actually, I think after the first round of Rohan Polanco's fight. That's when I tuned in. So I missed John Santana's performance. I will be tuning in today to check out the... If the full fight is available, I'll check it out. If not, I'll see the highlight. But I definitely salute to John Santana. Congratulations on another win. That's another young man who you need to be on the lookout for. John Santana, he has all the tools and resources to become a star, to become a world champion. Check him out. John Santana, Rohan Polanco. They both can fight, my people. They both can fight. They can bang, they can box. Real sharp. These two young men are gonna do big things. The nobody. Do you think Rohan Polanco is ready for Brian Norman or Subriel Matias fight at the moment? No, definitely not. This is a fighter that's being developed right now. So, nah. I don't see it. I do think that, they're gonna be stepping him up and he's gonna be gunning for a title shot, but not just yet. Not yet. John Parham, the nobody, maybe Matias, but not Norman. I think to put him in front of Subriel Matias, I would give him one more year. One more year, fighting tough opponents, and then get to that. Because the thing is, I would say, boxing-wise, he's a better boxer than Subriel Matias, but John Parham's, said it right before I said it, too green. He's not ready for that type of action. I think he would be able to outbox Subriel Matias and win rounds, but the type of pressure and the type of power that Subriel brings, I think Rohan needs a little bit more development to face somebody like that. A little bit more. I will give him at least one more year. There's fighters that you see that they're real good, but you also have to take into account the competition that they're facing, the competition that they're facing. I mean, Brian Norman Jr. is 147. Rohan Polanco is at 140, I think? I think Rohan is at 140, right? But he's not ready, for that type of opponent. Juan, true, but it could happen. I mean, it could happen. They're right there. But still, I don't see him facing that level of opposition at this point in his career. There's still, listen, my peoples. That's one thing about Bob Arum. He has a lot of fans and a lot of haters. But one thing about Bob, he's done a crazy job, an amazing job of building stars. Bob Arum knows the process of building a star, of not rushing them. You don't see his guys at 20 years old, 21, 22, facing the very best out there. He does a smart job of developing them, and by the time Bob, throws his guys or allows his guys to fight the top dogs, they ready. They ready. Bob Arum, just think about it. Bob, when you talk about Bob Arum, you got to talk about Muhammad Ali. You got to talk about Oscar De La Hoya. You got to talk about Floyd Mayweather. You got to talk about Shakur Stevenson. Now you got to talk about Xander Zayas. So Bob Arum is a promoter who, his fighters, he don't just throw them out there. He take his time, develop them. They do a very good job with the matchmaking to get them tough opponents before they actually fight for a world title. Look at Rohan Polanco's opponent yesterday. That guy was tough, man. He could fight. And he was letting them hands fly, and Rohan Polanco had to eat some leather. That wasn't no easy win. He had to eat some leather. But he was able to pull through. So, look, I said it before. Rohan Polanco, He a special fighter. I expect him to become a world champion. Those are my expectations already. Off the bat. Off the bat, my people. Those are my expectations. But I'm gonna give you a real rundown, right? I'm gonna give you a real rundown of just how good yesterday's fights were. The ones that I got, right? Because I didn't get to watch all of them. Didn't have the opportunity to watch all of them. I missed Dominican brother John Santana's fight. But here it is. Hold on. Because I'm going to give you guys a quick recap of yesterday's fights. Starting Rohan Polanco. So I did have the opportunity to witness that fight. Right? Here we go. So, Rohan Polanco showed us yesterday his versatility. He had an opponent that would not go down, that would not go away, kept fighting back, kept trying to apply pressure. And we saw Rohan Polanco use the footwork, use his counter punches, use that body attack consistently, effectively. You know, combinations to the body and to the head, up top, down low. You know, you saw Rohan Polanco have the opportunity to show the full arsenal or a lot of the tools within his arsenal. Why? Because he had a tough opponent in front of him. And that's what you have to do when you're developing a young fighter. You know, give them opponents that are gonna test them, that are gonna make them earn that victory. And Rohan Polanco was able to show us his skills. Like I told you guys before, Rohan is going to become a world champion. He has the potential, the tools and resources, technically, physically, to become a world champion and a star. You're not following Rohan Polanco already? Do that. Do just that. My peoples, Shushu Carrington. Shushu Carrington was special. Again, the same, I would say, the same storyline as far as just like Rohan, a real tough opponent in front of him, and a guy who could just fight and would not go down, would not go away. Shushu Carrington was landing combinations to the head, to the body, you know, giving him angles, and his opponent just kept fighting, landing his own big shots too on Shushu. Number one, you saw Shushu's skills, you saw the quality of his movements in close quarters, the way that he's able to make his opponent miss and make him pay. Shushu showed out. Before I move to Xander Zayas, who just, you know, had a performance of a special performance. He showed us facets of his game that we hadn't seen before, or that he hadn't put so much emphasis on it. Before we get to Xander Zayas, my peoples, I skipped, in this recap that I'm giving you, I skipped Emiliano Vargas fight. I can't do that. Hold on, my people. I skipped Emiliano Vargas fight. Emiliano Vargas, my people, ended the fight with a devastating knockout. We talking about boxing from last night. Well, you could take a break. When you come back, you could talk about the boxing that we talking about. That's what the rules say. Stick to the topic. Emiliano Vargas was destructive, my peoples. Did you see the pullback counter and the right hand? Bang! He timed it perfectly. Landed flush. You know when a fighter has timed it perfectly when they land a punch, boom, as their opponent's hand is still out there. So the opponent takes the punch like this. Boom! And that's exactly what we saw from Emiliano Vargas. Timed it perfectly. Boom! Showed us that he has that one punch knockout power. Not just that, but that he can do it early. There's fighters who have that power, but normally you start seeing it from them in the third round, in the fourth round. Now they're really letting the guns fly. But Emiliano Vargas, in the first round, he already had destruction in his mind, and you saw it. You saw it. Fernando Vargas was there celebrating with his son. An amazing night of boxing for the family, for the Vargas family, the Vargas dynasty. Salute, bam. So, salute to Emiliano Vargas. Did his thing. Salute to Rohan Polanco. Did his thing. Salute to Shushu Carrington. Bam. Did his thing. And then Xander Zayas. My peoples. Xander Zayas was spectacular yesterday. Did you see how he switched between trading punches and using the footwork? And how fast Xander Zayas was on his footwork, on his feet. Ooh, he was nimble on his feet, my peoples. So all I'm telling you is that Xander Zayas is going to be the face of Puerto Rican boxing. And he's going to be, one of these champions who's going to accomplish a lot. 154 is the first division that he's trying to conquer. Will he be able to get unification fights? Let's see. But I'm going to tell you right now, with Xander Zayas being the youngest champion at 22 years old, I don't think even he needs to rush for a unification fight right now. You're the world champion, my peoples. Come on now. Come on now. At 22 years old, they don't need to rush him. They do not need to do that. And of course, Clarissa Shields versus Lonnie Daniels. Look, man, Lonnie Daniels, she started off not looking too good. She was like, it looked like she was very nervous. She was almost running the way that she was moving around. And Clarissa Shields kept chasing her. And at times you can even see that Clarissa Shields was almost getting frustrated that, damn, you're not trying to fight. What are you doing? What are we doing here? Like, Clarissa Shields want to fight. She's the type of fighter. She's going to trade with you. She's going to box with you if you want to do it that way. But Lonnie just wasn't trying to engage. Clarissa was chasing her around. Then, maybe after the third, fourth round, you saw Lonnie Daniels stopping and engaging a little bit more, trading a little bit more. Clarissa Shields letting her hands go throughout the fight. That's why she's my favorite fighter, my peoples. Look at how every time she closed the gap, it's not one, it's not two, sometimes it's not even three. Clarissa Shields is the fighter who's going to shoot 4 or 5 punch combinations. Land all of them to the body, to the head, the left, the right, the straight right, the counter punch, the shoulder, the pullback counter. She's doing it everything. Throwing it everything, my peoples. Clarissa Shields is the GOAT for a reason. So there you have it, folks. That's the recap from your boy Jay Smith. This is Boxing for Breakfast. Yesterday was a great night of boxing, my peoples. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. What a recap. There you have it. Yo, did I really just give y'all a whole recap of Saturday boxing? And I didn't get a single like, yo. I had the same amount of likes when I started giving y'all the recap that I got right now. Who else is giving you a recap of everything that went down the day before? Man, y'all wilding out. Juan Ocasio, he even said Backroom, I never heard anyone call that dude out. Bro, who calls out Backroom? Who calls out Mortasaliev Backroom, bro? Are you for real? That guy's a dangerous man. John Parham, I still got Ali in her prime, whipping shields. That's a tough argument to make, though, because she's not in her prime. So right there, that's nothing that we could do about it other than what we believe in our head. If they fight now, obviously, Layla is going to be, the older fighter coming back. But she said look, right now, I don't know if the fight is going to happen. But if Layla decides I'm going to come back, I don't want to hear about the age. I don't want to hear it. Manny Pacquiao. Look at Manny Pacquiao. 46 years old. He's older than Layla. Now he came back and won. So I don't want to hear about the age. William P. Shields going to beat her. I believe it. I believe it. And Layla Ali, she retired undefeated. Very good boxer. But I think Clarissa Shields has the style to apply the pressure and beat her. Street Fit Nick. Glasses bigger than his head. Y'all know it, my people. Street Nick need a little time out so he could just watch me. Just watch me, Street Nick. Watch. Come on, Noel. Street Nick. Just watch me. William P. Shields going to beat her. I believe it if they fight. If they fight, because look how this whole thing started. It all stems from Layla Ali saying that for $15-20 million, she will come back and fight Clarissa Shields. Well, Clarissa Shields called her bluff and got the $15 million funds to make that fight happen. And she's saying it. Yo, Layla, what's good? We got the $15 million. You say you would fight for that amount of money. So she calling her bluff. Now it's up to Layla to decide if she want to come back. Does she really believe that she can beat Clarissa Shields? I don't know. And look, I'm going to be honest with you, my peoples. This is what I believe is the whole situation with Layla and Clarissa. And why they don't like each other, or why Clarissa don't like her, most of all. I still remember, I don't know how many years ago that was. And during, I don't know if it was during a fight where she was talking. But Layla Ali said that Clarissa Shields wasn't that good of a boxer. And that she feel like she's not really that good. I don't remember the exact words that she used, So I can't quote her. But she said that Clarissa she didn't feel like she was all that. And obviously Clarissa took offense to that. Especially since that was one of her favorite fighters. It's like, damn, my favorite fighter seeing me out here winning, making history, and I'm not that good. So to be honest, Layla Ali did come off kind of like a hater. The way that, if you think about it, a retired fighter saying that a young, undefeated champion who's got more champions than her, more accomplished than her, is not that good. So, off rip, if you have a certain talent and somebody says you're not that good, there's gonna be some type of reaction about that. And I feel like Clarissa Shields didn't appreciate that. So there was kind of like a snowball effect. Bam, 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 bam. And we're here. Clarissa Shields is calling her bluff. Here's your $15 million. Was good. That's the check right there. You said for $15 million, you willing to fight me. Here's the check for you. Are you ready? Let me know. Now, I ask you, my peoples, if Layla Ali said in his own video, the receipt is posted on social media, on YouTube, she said for $15-20 million, I'm willing to fight Clarissa Shields. Now Clarissa Shields called her bluff. Showed the $15 million check. Do you guys think that Layla Ali is going to fight? Will that fight happen? The money's there. Was Layla Ali bluffing? Did she say $15-20 million because she thought that maybe they wasn't going to be able to get that money? Because that's what I'm going to think the case is. If she doesn't take the fight now that it's being offered for the amount of money that she said she would make that fight, she was bluffing then. It was a bluff. She never wanted to fight her. She wanted to come across as, I'll beat your ass, but only by saying it. But when the time came and they put the money up, you didn't want to fight. So Layla Ali, like I said, man, she kind of has come across as a Clarissa Shields hater because some of the comments that she made. But now you're saying, yo, I'll fight you for this amount of money. And when this amount of money come up, you don't want to fight. They calling your bluff and you pull back. That means you was always bluffing. You never wanted to make that fight. You never wanted to make that fight. Soundboy Real, I don't know what hype job you're talking about. These are world champion. These are world championship caliber fighters. So, I think if you take 30 minutes, you can Google their resume and see how accomplished they are. I don't know what you're talking about. But in a timeout, you can figure it out. Again, my peoples, yesterday was a great night of boxing. What do we got coming up? I want to point something out. Samuel Lozada, Clarissa ain't nothing but the truth. There's a reason why they call her the GOAT. There's a reason why she's the most accomplished female or male fighter ever. It's Clarissa Shields. There's a reason for that. This woman just does nothing but win. That's all she do. My peoples, I don't know if y'all seen this. Shakur Stevenson called out Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez responded. And he said, be careful what you wish for. Because I might do you like I did Barboza. You guys may remember Leandro Barboza was calling out Teofimo, and then he got beat. Made to look easy, actually. Made to look easy. So we have to take into account, if Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson fight, that's a big, big fight. Big fight. Big O, nobody likes her. She's not marketable. I don't understand what you mean. She got brand deals. She's all over TV, all over interviews, all over TV shows, music videos. She's all over the place. I don't know what you're talking about, Big O. She's literally the face of women boxing. It's Clarissa Shields. That's the thing, Big O. It's just like Floyd Mayweather. Remember Floyd Mayweather? Nobody liked him. He became the face of boxing. So the thing is, when you become irrelevant, when nobody cares about you, when nobody talks about you, that's a problem. But if you're saying nobody likes her, which is not accurate, because a lot of people right here in the comment section like her. So when you say nobody, you're kind of exaggerating, Big O. Kind of exaggerating. So I want you to really think about it. When you say nobody likes her, really think about it. And then when you get back after your timeout, you can reassess that. Juan Ocasio, she sold out her fight last night. You can't say nobody likes her. Sold out. Clarissa Shields is the face of women's boxing. Y'all gotta understand that. Because, look, there's other very popular fighters in women boxing. Don't get it twisted. But if you look at, for example, Amanda Serrano, who's a major face in the sport. Katie Taylor, a major face in the sport of boxing. Alicia Baumgartner is establishing herself as one of the major faces of women's boxing. Scott Nicholson, one of them as well. When you look at women's boxing, Clarissa Shields is the fighter who's the biggest star and has a different support, a different level of support. She's on the zone. And you have to understand that it's different to compare, because when you compare views on Netflix, you can't compare them to views on the zone, because Netflix is a bigger platform. People get Netflix to watch movies, and then you play me these fights and I can watch them for free, because these fights are just being played on Netflix, non-pay-per-view. So when you put this fight on Netflix and this fight on the zone, the Netflix fight is going to get more views. It's simply the platform. It doesn't mean that the popularity. Look at the popularity of a fighter who's the main event and is selling out the arena when there's nobody else in that card. The biggest name in that card was Tony Harrison, who, he's pretty much, no disrespect to Tony, but he's at the very tail end of his career. That was all Clarissa Shields. MS, Clarissa fight with more dog in her than a lot of tough male boxers. She's vicious in the ring. Salute. No doubt, my brother. You don't see how Clarissa Shields, she just doesn't do the one punch or the... No. She's out there to let them hands fly, consistently to apply pressure, to seek and destroy. If you saw Lonnie Daniels was fighting to survive yesterday, you could see that she was fighting to make it the distance. And when she tried to stop and exchange, she ate some nasty leather. Clarissa Shields was feeding her a steady dosage of leather throughout the fight. Telling you, my peoples, Clarissa Shields is the GOAT for a reason. But I digressed. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, man. I really would like to see that fight. I thought that's something that we would never get, just because, Shakur's still fighting at 135. Teofimo Lopez is trying to challenge Jerome Bruce Ennis at welterweight. So it's like, damn, you know what? Are they just going to keep getting further and further away? But now you see Shakur Stevenson calling out Teofimo and Teofimo responding. This is the first time that Shakur Stevenson calls out a big name and they actually respond to him. And that makes me hopeful. If you think about it, Shakur Stevenson calls out Tank Davis all the time. You see Tank Davis trying to fight him? No. Calls out Devin Haney all the time. Do you see Devin Haney trying to fight him? No. So you see, this whole situation where these fighters, who have that name, don't want to fight him. Has called out Ryan Garcia. Does Ryan Garcia want to fight him? No. Does Rollies want to fight Shakur? Heck to the no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no, no. To the no, no, no. They don't want Shakur. To the no, no, no. Victor J. Clarissa Gas at the end and was getting cracked by a nobody. Getting cracked by a nobody. Come on, Victor J. You don't hate him on. You don't hate him on Clarissa Shields? This early? I'm going to need you to take a quick timeout, Victor J. You wilding out. You wilding out, Victor J. No hate on the GOAT permitted this morning. The GOAT showed out. The GOAT was special. To say that she was hit by nobody, to say that Lonnie Daniels was a nobody, that's being disrespectful. You need a timeout. No disrespect. Boxing for breakfast will not allow disrespect towards the fighters. No diminishing, no discrediting is not allowed. Unless you want to break. So Victor J, sit down for 30 minutes. If you want to, you could tune in. If you want to, you could go away and come back later. And then when you come back, think about hating on the world champion who just won yesterday. That's not what boxing is about. Evangelista Angel Hernandez. Clarissa Shields good for now because there's nobody. She would have never beaten Layla Ali. She is a vote of whatever you call her. Clarissa Shields has no power. I mean, look, everybody has their opinion. That's the thing. That's why I like to bring up the facts. Because when it comes to opinion, you can have your own. But the facts are that Clarissa Shields is without a doubt the most accomplished female fighter ever. She's the most accomplished boxer ever. That is undisputable. Those are the facts. So you have to let that evangelista, you have to let that sizzle in your spirit. This is the most accomplished fighter ever. Like her or not, whatever opinion you may have on her. The most accomplished. The GOAT. Clarissa Shields. It is what it is. We can, look, your opinion is going to be your opinion, and people are going to have their own. But the facts is something that is not up for debate. So we can't debate about that. That's what you have to tell me. Damn, you're right, Jay. She is the most accomplished fighter. You're 100% right, Jay. There's no getting around that. No getting around that, my peoples. Again, I digress. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, man. Y'all don't want to see that fight? Because yesterday I asked about different possibilities for Teofimo Lopez. And everybody said, nah, I want to see Teofimo Lopez Unify with Subriel Matias. Go unify. And I said, y'all don't want to see him fight Shakur? Nah, I don't want to see him fight Shakur. So you think about it. People say that Shakur doesn't have a good resume, but when you ask them if the best fighters should fight Shakur, they say nah. They don't want the best fighters to fight Shakur. So you don't want his resume to be good? You hate him that much that you don't want him to fight the best? Martin Ramos, how many world champions she took those championships? What? Count them and tell me. You can Google it, my brother. I'm over here talking and you asking questions. Google it and you tell me. I just know that Clarissa Shields is the most accomplished fighter in boxing history. Now, if you're a hater and you're looking for some details that you want to hate with, Google it. You want to give me homework? There you have it, my peoples. The hate for Clarissa Shields shows you what a superstar she is. But I still want to see Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez share the ring. I thought it could never happen, but right now, the way that they're engaging on social media, I think it's possible. I think it's quite possible. And it's for the same reason that I just said. Same reason. And I want you to consider it. I want you to consider it. Melasa, I don't understand how you asking that question. So take 30 minutes, take a little 30-minute break. When you come back, you can ask a question that we can understand. Because I don't understand what was the point of that. So I want you guys to consider this. How many fighters has Shakur Stevenson called out? How many? Shakur Stevenson has called out Tank Davis. Shakur Stevenson has called out Devin Haney. In the past, he also had called out Teofimo. Pretty much called out anybody that you think are the big dogs. Shakur Stevenson calling them out. Even trying to fight Conor Benn. Like, you want that smoke? I'll go up and beat your ass. Yet, nobody responds. Nobody want to fight. Nobody wants to. And now, for the first time, we see Teofimo Lopez respond. We see Teofimo Lopez say, hey, be careful what you wish for, or I might do you like I did Barboza. So that response says that Teofimo Lopez is open to that fight. And I will say, look, we've been talking about Teofimo need a name opponent. Why? Fight with Jerome Boots Ennis fell through. Fight with Devin Haney fell through. Who you going to fight next? You need a name. Well, Shakur Stevenson is available. You're available. He wants that smoke. You seem to be suggesting that you might call his bluff. Let's find out if it's a bluff, Teofimo. That fight is easy to make. He wanted, if you want it, y'all can make it happen. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. That's a big, big fight. Big, big fight, my peoples. I want to see it. So I ask you guys. I know that, again, people don't want to see Shakur Stevenson fight the best because they don't want to see him accomplish. But what do you think about that fight, man? Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Come on, man. Come on. Martin Ramos, a lot of those titles were handed to her. I don't know why you feel that way. Well, you feel that way because you never boxed in your life, my brother. So when you never boxed, you think like that. But no title is ever given to anybody. They have to fight somebody for it. And that person earned the possibility to fight for that title. So when you never boxed before, you know, if you're a casual fan of boxing, if you just watch it on TV, you think they were handed to her. Titles are not given out in professional boxing, my guy. You got to train, you got to go to training camp, and you got to fight somebody who earned that shot. Carlos Perez, buenos dias. Bam, salute. So, if Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson fight each other, who wins that fight? Think about the last performance that we got from them. Teofimo Lopez looked real good against Barboza. He was using that footwork, using that movement, giving him angles, just outboxing him, and even made it look easy. Look, I said Barboza had the skills, to pull off an upset. I said it. I was like, yo, he got the skills for an upset. But look what happened in the fight. Look what happened. Teofimo made it look easy. You saw that other side of Teofimo where he's gonna box you, where he's gonna use that footwork. Now Barboza was chasing, looking goofy, cut off the ring. How you gonna cut off the ring with a guy who has superior footwork? There was nothing Barboza could do other than get outboxed and made to look easy. So you see that Teofimo has that in his bag of tools. But Shakur Stevenson, look at his last performance. When all the Shakur Stevenson hater fans were saying that he was gonna run all night from Zepeda, y'all remember that? Y'all remember that, my peoples? Because, whoa, I sure remember it. I'll tell you that right now. Do you guys remember all the people that were saying that Shakur Stevenson was going to run all night from William Zepeda? Where are they? I don't see them anymore. They disappeared. They hiding with the people who said Errol Spence was going to knock Crawford out. They hiding together somewhere in the same place. You know what it is? Weeks saying that Shakur was going to run all night, only to watch him go toe-to-toe with Zepeda and beat the burritos out of him. What happened? Point blank range. Pop, 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 pop. Come on now. Come on now. Shakur Stevenson haters went from Zepeda's too strong, Zepeda applies too much pressure, to, Zepeda's not really all that. Who he really beat, that wasn't that much of a win anyways. Like, what's going on, my people? Huh? What are we talking about here? You went from Zepeda's too strong, applies too much pressure, to he's not that good anymore? So if you look at Teofimo's last performance and Shakur Stevenson's last performance, they was both spectacular. Perfect fights to set them up for a collision course. Right there. JJ's in the house. Yes, I do. And those fans are still running. My God, JJ. You was on that episode of Boxing for Breakfast the day of the fight where all those people were saying Shakur's gonna run all night. He's gonna get upset. Zepeda's too strong. He's gonna knock him out. And then what happened? We still haven't found them. We still figuring out how to do a wellness check to make sure they're okay. Because you spent all this time saying that Shakur was going to run all night, only to watch him put the Dre, the Swiss, and the respective Apple beats on Zepeda. The nobody. Jay Smith, I agree that Shushu looked smooth last night, but I feel he could have pressed the gas a little more to get the stoppage. I felt like he pressed the gas a bunch of times, man, and he just couldn't do it. Honestly, I felt like he pressed the gas throughout the fight. There was times where he was, 15 and 20 punches, boom, 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 and this guy's right there with him, fighting back no matter. He fought a very tough opponent, man. Sometimes you have a guy in the ring that's not going to go down, that's not going to back down, and he's just going to take whatever you got for 12 rounds. And that was one of those type of opponents. JJ's in the house. Yes, I was front row, Jay Smith. We still looking for them. We still looking for the people who said that Shakur Stevenson was going to run all night long. Come on now. Where are they? Mark Ramos, my brother. I'm a 1994 Daily News Golden Glove finalist. Salute, congratulations. Congratulations. And you see what we were talking about, JJ, that day, that we said tomorrow, let's get together so we could talk about what happened between Shakur and Zepeda. And all the people that was telling me, watch, tomorrow when Zepeda knocks Shakur out, you're not gonna know what to say in tomorrow's live. I was over here cooking, roasting, filleting, microwaving, baking Shakur Stevenson haters. Come on, man. Come on, man. The nobody, do you think Shushu is ready for Rafael Espinoza? Come on, man. What are you talking about? Shushu right now is a fighter who he's headed, all the way to the top. Shushu ready for the best of them already. Shushu ready for all the top guns. Shushu is ready for all the top guns. That's it. That man was talking about he want to fight Naoya. Ain't know it, bro. When Shushu and Naoya end up in the same division, they're going to fight. They're going to fight. And right now, look, right now, if Shushu and Naoya met in the same division and they fought right now next, I see that as a 50-50 fight. 50-50 right now. That's how special I think Shushu is. JJ said that. Chef J. Smith at his best. Bam, appreciate you, my brother. We only got 18 or 19 likes, something like that. People duck that like button. But we still going strong, my peoples. The nobody, all the top guns, I don't know if he's ready for Inoue or Stephen Fulton just yet. I think he is. I really believe Shushu Carrington is ready for everybody. That's it. That's it. Everybody he's ready for. And when I say he's ready for everybody, I'm not telling you he beats everybody. I'm telling you that he's already at that level where he's ready to face all of the big guns. What fights does he win? Who can he beat? I don't know. If the moment he's in a situation where he's going to fight somebody, you're going to see me make predictions. I'm not saying that he wins or loses, but he's ready for all the big guns. If you think about that performance from yesterday, Shushu had an opponent that could fight, my people. He had a guy that was letting them hands fly. A guy that was not there to give up. A guy who wasn't just going to, lay down and, okay, you got it. You're the better fighter. Nah, man. Shushu Carrington's opponent was a tough fighter, man. That was a big performance from Shushu. You got to see many different facets of his game. You got to see, look, one knock that I had on Shushu is how he used to get hit with punches that I felt like, damn, you should not be hit with those. And you see how his defense is developing, where even at point blank range, he's not eating as many punches as he used to. Right there, point blank, making him miss, pop, making him pay, making him miss some more. Shushu Carrington, my people, he's doing it. He really doing it. Good morning, Ryan. Huh? Jay, why you time me out for my boxing opinion? You usually not sensitive. Everything okay? So I have a couple of stalkers that's going hard. So to be honest, Jay Will, I don't even know if you one of the stalkers that I got right now. The way that they created like 50 fake accounts to go ahead talking bad, talking negative about fighters. So now the only way that I can stop the stalkers from interrupting the show, every time I see something negative, boop, time out. Take 30 minutes. But Jay Will, hold on, Jay Will. Look, because I'm also verifying accounts. Look, I'm also verifying accounts, Jay Will. That's my IG. So send me a DM on IG so I can verify yours. Once I verify your IG, I'll make you an admin, brother. I had a wrench, but you took it away. Yes, I took away everybody's wrench because the stalker managed to get a wrench with his fake accounts. You don't have IG? Okay then. Uh Facebook. Facebook or TikTok. Whatever social media you got that shows your pictures, that shows that it's you. Shaggy, happy Sunday, my G. Let's talk boxing. You know what it is. That's how we doing it. Give me a second, my peoples. Let me grab something real quick that I'm handling. John Parham, nothing personal. You know it. And I gotta say, Jay Will, when I offer somebody the opportunity to show themselves on social media to verify who they are, and they stay quiet, like you staying quiet, it gets kind of suspicious. It does get kind of suspicious. You know, that's all I'm gonna say, Jay Will. I don't know if I'm talking to a sex predator right now. But my peoples, let me know what you think. Ooh, look at it. This is boxing for breakfast, my peoples. So I can have my breakfast and you can have your breakfast. Um, I don't know. I want to see what you guys feel about Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. Because it is looking like that fight could happen, y'all. It is really looking like it can happen. Um, yeah, I know I've said it before. I don't see anybody in boxing beating Shakur. No, ahora no, ya está bien, ahorita. I don't see nobody in boxing beating Shakur. So, if Teofimo and Shakur fight, I said Teofimo wins it. You know, I can make that prediction right now. I don't have to wait for them to sign contracts. I made the prediction right now. I got Shakur Stevenson beating Teofimo Lopez in a good competitive fight. I'm not saying that he's just gonna watch Teofimo. Which, by the way, did you guys see a picture that's floating around of Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, where Teofimo's got blood in his shirt, and Shakur Stevenson writes, "That's not my blood." That's a fight that they was sparring when they was real young. It was kids, but hey, Jay Will at 135 from 147 down. You don't see anybody beating Shakur. Jay Will, I asked you about verifying your account. Are you? You know, I need you to get back to that because you're looking suspect right now. You saying you don't want to verify your account, any social media account that I could verify who you is? I want you to answer that question. JJ Sendeja, there is 23 likes on my side. I don't have Facebook, IG. Do you have TikTok, J Will? I have YouTube. You have YouTube. That's not a... Okay, in that YouTube, do you have videos and pictures of you? And is it an old YouTube channel? Because if it's a YouTube channel that was created 3 days ago with nothing to verify that it's you, then you don't have anything. So what I'm trying to figure out, J Will, do you have a social media account that I can verify who you are so that I know that you're not the sex predator from New York City who's hiding out in Pennsylvania? Let me know, J Will. Myself in the chat, we are waiting for you. Damn, this thing is hot. John Parham, J Will, put a real pic up real quick. Well, my peoples, you see what's going on with J Will. J Will, since you thinking about it, I'm going to give you some time to think about it and we're going to move on. If the show's still going on in 30 minutes, you could come back and let us know who you is. Because you close to getting blocked with the game you spitting, buddy. Carlos Perez, que te aproveche. Muchas gracias, Carlos. My peoples, y'all know it. This is Boxing for Breakfast. You're allowed to eat breakfast too right now. JJ's in their house. If not, get them the fuck out of here. I'm telling you, once you talk funny, that's the thing about me, my people. Look, those who've been in Box Center for a long time, y'all know I don't hesitate to not to get people out of here. You're not cool. Okay, you're gonna need like a 30-minute timeout. If you watch me for 30 minutes and shut up, you're gonna realize that I actually am cool. Is that you're goofy as hell? That's all it is. So shut up for 30 minutes and watch me, goofy. So you see, my peoples, you guys know that been with the channel for some time, that I don't hesitate to block people. I don't hesitate to get people the hell out of here. You know, I've if I didn't block so many people, I would have already been way over 2,000 subscribers. But I don't care about that. That's gonna come naturally. The people who really enjoy the sweet science, who really enjoy the sport of boxing, they're gonna come through. They're gonna come through. The people who don't know shit about boxing, I don't care about blocking you and getting you the fuck out of here, like JJ Zayas just said. The nobody. What you eating, J Smith? Look like Dominican meal. This is called maicena. Maicena, I don't know how you call that shit in English. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Let me look for it. There's got to be a way to call that shit. MSTO will have to fight like he fought Loma in order to not lose as badly versus Shakur. Come on, bro. John Pam, I honestly think some of these people not trolling. They just don't know boxing. MS Cornstarch. Carlos Perez Grits. Let me see. Let me see what it's called in English. I don't know what this is called in English because I never ate it in the U.S. I only ate that over here. Hold on. I think it is corn something. Maicena in English. Cornstarch. MS Cornstarch. What the hell is that? That name doesn't even make sense to me. Who the hell was gonna guess that? How do you translate from maicena to cornstarch? That shit don't even make no sense. But there you go, my people. That's what I'm having for breakfast this morning. Cornstarch. First time I ever heard that name in my life. JJ said that looks like molten meal. Grits. There's nobody. How did MS know that? I don't know. I guess he recognized it. MS, salute, my G. What are you guys having for breakfast? That tastes real good. Yeah, man. It tastes good for sure, Carlos. What you guys eating right now? Yo, I'm going to do a show where I'm going to send the link out. But I'm only going to send the link out to those who are eating something on the spot. So when you come on the show, the first thing you got to do is show what you're eating, and then you got to give your prediction. But before saying what's your boxing opinion, you got to show what you're eating at that very moment. Gabriel Pujroy, arepas. Ooh, I love arepas, bro. But what those arepas got? Chicken or what they got? John Parham, I'm not eating no damn cornstarch. Sorry. Damn, but this thing tastes so good. How you not eating this? Carlos Perez, yo quiero plátano con eggs y salchichón. Pero la bandera que tú quieras. Ahí nada más te faltó el quesito frito, manito. Little fried cheese. Put in there. Unique Hamilton, I'm eating spaghetti. Swear to God, I am fired. Ooh, good stuff. KJ says that has eggs, bacon, and toast coffee. Good stuff. We're eating good this morning, my people. Breakfast is a very important meal of the day. Gabriel, jamón, huevos, jamón y queso. That combination, you can never go wrong. Never go wrong. Ham and cheese with eggs, you can never go wrong with that. But I love bacon, egg, and cheese. In that order. Bacon, eggs, cheese. Yum. And my peoples, let me tell you guys how to put together the perfect bacon, egg, and cheese if you're making it yourself. If you're making it yourself, the perfect, to perfection, flawless bacon, egg, and cheese has 2 strips of bacon, 2 eggs, sunny side up, and 2 slices of American craft cheese that must melt on top of the egg. Whoop. And then that has to be on a very soft, very, very soft bagel. Has to be, one of those wheat bagels. And there you have it. That is a flawless bacon, egg, and cheese. JJ's in the house. Listen to Chef J. Smith. I just gave y'all the perfect bacon, egg, and cheese. 2 strips of bacon, 2 eggs, sunny side up, and 2 slices of American craft cheese. Melted on the egg. Sunny side up, always. You know it. Scrambled eggs is so, I don't know, scrambled eggs is like when you're in a hurry. Hurry the fuck up. Eat that shit. John Parham, 4 strips for me. You see, I don't like the 4 strips because then the taste of bacon becomes too strong. I don't want the taste of bacon to overwhelm the eggs and the cheese. So I want the eggs and the cheese with that last kick of bacon punching me in the face as I eat it. That's my personal opinion. But there you go, my peoples. This is Boxing for Breakfast. We gotta talk about breakfast. Come on now. Boxing for breakfast. We talking boxing. We talking breakfast. John Parham, I'm making 2 sandwiches. 2, not 1, 2. Are you using? But you're not making. I know you're not making 2 subs. I know you're not making a 24-footer, like 2 12-inchers and put them together to make a 24-foot sandwich. I don't think you're doing that. Carlos Pérez, hasta par de yaniqueque con jugo de tamarindo. Ey, espérate. Eso yaniqueque at 6 in the morning, that's elite stuff, my brother. If you hungry early in the morning and you grab a couple of Johnny Cakes, you set for the whole morning. The Nobody. When was the last time you had a bowl of cereal? I know in DR, they don't eat cereal as much as we do here in the States. Well, my brother, I actually had cereal yesterday. And I eat cereal all the time. So there's people who do eat cereal here all the time. I happen to be one of them. Jay Smith. JJ's in the house. Jay Smith don't want anything to overpower the sandwich. Nah, my people. You can't. The bacon is supposed to give it that last hint. That oomph. That's what the bacon does. But if you put mad bacon on it, now you just got a bacon sandwich with a side of eggs and cheese in it. I don't want a bacon sandwich. I want an egg and cheese with bacon. My peoples, we digress. We over here talking about food. Cause it's Boxing for Breakfast. It's so fair. It looks like, I hope that I'm wrong. Please let me be wrong. But it looks like Devin Haney and Bill Haney have been hinting at pulling out of the Brian Norman Jr. fight. I would hate for that to happen, of course. They've already did a face-off, did some press. We're all expecting this fight to go down. But it looks like there's been some hints that Bill Haney or Devin want to pull back and not make the fight. Now, here's the problem that I'm reading about that is being alleged, right? Sonny boy, hi bro, how you doing today? What's good? The problem is, apparently, Devin and Bill want Brian Norman Jr. to start VADA testing now. But you gotta remember, the fight is way in November. We're still a few months away, right? Brian Norman Jr. says, hey, don't want to start now. They want to start like in October, or, around the time where he's gonna do his training camp. That's where he want to start. So Bill and Devin are kind of seem to be threatening, like, yo, if he don't start VADA testing now, we pulling out. We pulling out of the fight. They seem to be hinting at that. And I've seen fans already spreading the narrative that Brian Norman Jr. doesn't want to start the testing yet because maybe he's on something and he's cleaning himself out and all that. No. I know that people like to make up narratives out of thin air. Fuck it, I'm going to just make this up and run with it like if it was a fact. But what people don't understand is that this is a business, and a lot of things that happen, you don't understand them. So you just make up whatever makes sense to you. So let me clarify something for you guys. The fact that Brian Norman Jr. says, I don't want to enroll now. I will enroll when I start my training camp. I will enroll in this month, right? I'm going to explain to you why a fighter would do that. It got nothing to do with hiding anything. Once you enroll in VADA testing, they can show up and interrupt you to take their samples anywhere and anytime. You're subjecting yourself to being interrupted no matter where you are. So once you sign up for that, it's not that you're trying to hide anything. It's that if you're on vacation, if you're hanging out with your family, do you want VADA to show up at a restaurant where you're hanging out with your family and pull you out the restaurant to take your urine? Do you want VADA to show up wherever you're hanging out with your peoples, with your family, to bother you? You want a title in spectacular fashion? You're living the life right now, you're celebrating, having a good time. You want people coming to bother you about that? No. The reality is that you don't. Now, once you get in training camp, let's get it. I'll sign up. He's already saying it. Yeah, I'll sign up. But Devin and Bill, I don't know if they're trying to find their way out of the fight, trying to find an excuse to get out of the fight. But let's see, man. I hope that we do get Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. That's a big, big fight. The moment that it was announced, it became very much anticipated. We want it. We need it. That fight has to happen. John Parham, he living life right now, enjoying fruits of his labor. That's what I'm saying. Look, Bill is a very smart guy. They know that right now, Brian Norman Jr. is not even in training camp. They know that he's far away from training camp. So that VADA stuff, sign up now for VADA, sign up right now. That can also be mind games, just to mess with them. Yeah, we're going to put you in this program. We're going to have these people interrupting you all the time, man. Showing up when you ain't even training. Messing with you. Annoying you. That could be part of the game plan. Bill is a very, very calculative person. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is just part of the game plan to mess with him. So, I understand, how fans are going to formulate an opinion like, ooh, he doesn't want to start VADA testing because he's cycling out of some steroids. Meanwhile, this guy's just enjoying his vacation. Dude out there enjoying his vacation. Come on, man. So, let's see. Let's see if this fight is actually going to happen. I want, and we've all been giving credit to Devin Haney for this fight. Like, wow, for him to pick Brian Norman Jr. Out of all the fighters that he could have fought, that shows a lot. It's also going to show a lot if they pull out. Tell you that right now. If they pull out, it's going to show a lot. I think if they pull out, it's going to be because a lot of people, they've seen a lot of people saying, yo, this guy's going to put the hurt on Devin. And maybe they start to believe it. Maybe they start to believe it. Hold on, my peoples. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all. Show y'all some of that smoke. Because yesterday, we was talking about it, digressed, went all over the place. But yesterday, my peoples, was an amazing night of boxing. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Whoa. Whoa. Xander Zayas showed out. Shushu Carrington showed out. Rohan Polanco showed out. Emiliano Vargas, devastating knockout. Devastating knockout from Emiliano Vargas, my peoples. That's pretty much the only way that you could describe it. Pretty much the only way to describe what, you know, it was a counter. Boom! El General showed that he has that one-punch knockout power. Right in the kisser. You got it, John Parham. Flush, too. Perfectly timed. Hold on, my peoples, because we could say it, but we can show it. And let the people see that we not capping about that brutal knockout, which took place in only 20 seconds, my peoples. Emiliano Vargas with the brutal knockout, only 20 seconds into the first round. Look at that. Look at that brutal knockout as I enjoy this cornstarch. Devastating. Look at the pullback counter. Check out the pullback counter, my peoples. Emiliano Vargas. Boom! There you have it right there. It landed flush. Oh, you can see he fell on his side. The referee had to wave it. This wasn't a technical knockout, ladies and gentlemen. This was a brutal, a devastating knockout. I saw this happen. I was looking for the rocket launcher. Where is the rocket launcher inside the ring? Where is it? Emiliano Vargas has to be hiding a rocket launcher somewhere because that was some missile. John Parham, what do you put in cornstarch? Raisins. Raisins. Just never in your life put raisins on potato salad. The people who put raisins on potato salad should be jailed. Hold them off to a jail. The people who put pineapple on pizza, put them in jail too. Ill Will 85, lazy jab. Look, boom! The counter was disgusting. Brutal. JJ Zendejas. Yes, and Vargas will go straight into the gym once again. He doesn't fuck around. Very focused and hungry kid. That's the one thing we've seen about Emiliano Vargas. You know, so far in his young career, he's been very disciplined. Every time he steps in the ring, he looks better than the last time. This kid is going to be a world champion. And I've been saying it. Fernando Vargas is doing an amazing job with the process of development with all three of his sons. This kid is going to be a world champion, my peoples. You can believe that. Emiliano Vargas has devastating knockout power. We saw it. One punch, and it was over. Just one. And of course, the fight with Shushu Carrington. Virgil, te quiero mucho, mi amor. Sabes que tú eres todo para mí. Toda mi vida. John Parham, hit the like button, my peoples. Come on, hit that like button, man. Stop playing with your boy Jay Smith. Shushu Carrington was a special fighter, showing what special fighters do yesterday. He had a very tough opponent. Like, this guy that was fighting with Shushu kept fighting back, kept throwing punches, at times trying to apply the pressure. It's just that Shushu is such a special fighter that there was just nothing he could do. There was nothing he could do.
¿Quiere Marina?
No.
Está bien.
Sí, todavía me queda más todavía. Adam, Emiliano Vargas versus Pitbull Cruz. Whoa, whoa. Hold your horses, my guy. Not yet. Not yet, my brother. Come on now. You can't. Pitbull Cruz is way, way too seasoned for him. Emiliano Vargas is definitely the better boxer of the two. He will be able to outbox Pitbull. But will he be able to navigate around that pressure? At this point in his career, I don't think he's ready for Pitbull yet. But give him a little bit more time, and he smokes Pitbull. Make it look easy. JJ's in there has 10 duckers on the like button. Oh my goodness. My peoples, this live right now is close to 2 hours. And I got 24 likes. Wow, man. How am I gonna end up? This live could very well end up with 1,000 views, with 2,000 views, maybe more. And 20 likes. God damn, I'm out here getting roasted. And then, my peoples, I'm out here getting roasted with the likes, man. And then, my people, Xander Zayas, who now becomes the youngest reigning world champion in boxing at 22 years old. I told you, my people, Xander Zayas is a special fighter. I'm the only one making the comparison. I don't see nobody else doing it. And a fighter that I know that I got a lot of love for, he hit me up. He was like, nah, that's cap. He don't look nothing like Trinidad. I got a lot of love for you, my G. But if you look at Xander Zayas, look at the movement, my peoples. When have we seen Xander Zayas using the footwork like that? His footwork was on point. Look, slipped the punch, gave him a 1-2 to the body, jab to the face from Xander Zayas, my people. If you can see the footwork when his opponent goes forward, look. You can see Xander Zayas moving, giving him angles, counter punching with the left, with the right. Look. Exchanging. Xander Zayas, my peoples, was absolutely special yesterday. He was a special fighter yesterday. And that's why I said, to me, he reminds me of Tito Trinidad. Look, the way he's moving around the ring and counter-punching at the same time. But especially Xander Zayas' left hook. Oh, look, another left hook to the melon piece. The mechanics and the power behind his left hook, it looks almost identical to the way Tito Trinidad used to do it. It will. Xander's movement was much better. Depth levels up. Look like he has a little more power. He's growing good. Look, Xander Zayas, I've never seen him move in the ring like I've seen him yesterday. And look at the body shots, my people. The way he's going to the body. This kid is only 22 years old. Normally, when you see a fighter this young that is this good, look, Xander catches him, spins him around, gets an angle on him. When you see a kid that's this young, they tend to be more headhunters. You know, punching to the head, to the head, to the head. But Xander Zayas, man, at 22 years old, you see him investing to the body consistently in every round, then going hard to the head. He's a special fighter. He's a very special fighter, my people. Do not sleep on this kid. And now he's the youngest. The youngest reigning champion in boxing at 22 years old. Come on now. Come on now. Crack. Shout out to you, my brother. Salute, Croc. Bam. Jump Parham. Shu said on Cigar Talk Friday he thinks about going to 130. Whoa. Damn, if he goes to 130, that's it. The possibility of him and Naoya Inoue is gonna diminish, to say the least. MS. Zayas is a very good fighter. But how you seen him holding up with Fundora? I think he's ready, my brother. I think Xander Zayas is ready for Sebastian Fundora. And by the way, I'll remind you, MS, that yesterday Xander Zayas was fighting for that title that Fundora vacated. He was Fundora's mandatory, and he was ready to make that fight. Fundora chose not to. Went into a different route, which was the rematch with Tim Tszyu. Albert Estrada, Xander versus Virgil. Ooh. Ooh. Xander's with it. He's with the smoke. Xander literally said that Virgil fought Stanionis because he didn't want to fight him. He wants that. Look, Xander Zayas has expressed interest in fighting Virgil Ortiz. He expressed interest in fighting Tim Tszyu and Sebastian Fundora. This kid is a throwback fighter. He really is about that smoke. He really about it. Believe him. When he tell you about that smoke, my peoples, believe him. It will. Shu seems like he's losing power. He still performs, though. He can get a couple more and grab belt or two. I don't know. I don't see. Honestly, I don't see a difference in power. I saw that he had a tough opponent in front of him that could take a shot. John Parham. Look who finally crawled out, baby Crib. MS. Xander definitely displays the Puerto Rican style of boxing all around. Like I said, his style looks very similar to Tito Trinidad. A lot of things that he does that I know that he either studied tapes on Trinidad or even possibly worked directly with Tito to get some of those techniques. Unlaced. Salute, my brother. Bam. Crack. Errol the True Spence is back in the ring. The big fish is back. The big fish is back. I don't know what you're talking about, crap. Unlaced. John. The monk. Got that bumblebee look today, bro. Hope you good. We doing boxing. We definitely good. I hope you good. You know, you focusing on what people look like. This not, just in case, no dating channel. Or, you know, I respect the community, but I'm not into that. You know, if you want to talk boxing, we with it, though. John Parham, my neighbor Puerto Rican, and they was up partying till 3 in the morning. Come on now. Right now, they have the youngest world champion. Brought it home to Puerto Rico. So they proud as hell of Xander Zayas. JJ said that Zayas better slow down a bit, and his career will go further. Lace, John. JJ said that get him the fuck out of here. He's close. He's close. Don't worry about it. The monk, know this, bro. We all fighters here. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So, again, my peoples, we digress from that talking point, and I'm going to reel you back in. If Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson fight each other, who's going to win that fight? Who is going to win that fight? Y'all tell me. The monk, do you fight? Do you fight as an amateur, professionally, retired? Are you a retired amateur boxer? Lopez all day. Ooh, Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez beats Shakur Stevenson. John Parham, the monk, is cool. I've seen him around channel or two about boxing. Alright, that's what's up. Salute, monk. We verifying people in the building. If John Parham says you good, you good. Raw Dog. Could be a boring fight. It will. I'll take Shakur. But Raw Dog, you said that Shakur versus William Zepeda was going to be a boring fight. And it turned out to be, you know, toe-to-toe for 12 rounds. Are you going to keep trying to float that narrative about Shakur after he proved you wrong? After he didn't run all night like you said he would? Albert Estrada, do you think the monk, I fought 3 years boxing, amateur, now training for an MMA fight now. Ooh. Salute, my brother. We got a fighter in the building. Much respect to you, my brother. JJ's in their house. If you want to be a fighter, crawl up your ass and fight for air. Albert Estrada, Boost versus Ortiz. I like that fight. I like that fight. We see that it's not happening. Supposedly, Boots declined the offer because he wants a couple of tune-ups first. Look, I said it before. That wasn't a good look for Boots. You know why it wasn't a good look? Because he's calling out all these people, saying that he wants to fight all these people, including Terrence Crawford, and is offered the opportunity to fight Virgil, and now says, nah, I want tune-ups. I want two tune-ups, not just one. So that's a bad look, because if you're calling everybody out and you're talking like you're ready, and they offer you this guy, and you say no, well, that kind of shuts down the conversation of who's ducking who between Virgil and Boots. Because before, we have Boots fans saying Virgil was ducking, and you have Virgil fans saying Boots was ducking. Well, Boots got an offer to fight Virgil and declined it. So who been ducking this whole time? Well, Boots didn't decline. He agreed to August 16th, and Virgil can't fight. Why would Boots wait out 2 months for an injured fighter? Well, you're lying, making that up out of thin air, or somebody lied to you. Boots never accepted no offer. Boots never agreed to anything. And Boots even came out and said, I'm not trying to sell my soul. Teofimo didn't sell his. Boots is out saying that he didn't need that fight. So we saw what happened when it was that situation between Boots and Teofimo, where we like, this fight is going down. We're going to get it. So now with the situation with Virgil, he got offered the fight, and he said that he wanted 2 tune-ups. Where do you get that from? That no, he accepted the offer. He accepted. Like, who lied to you, brother? Who lied to you? Somebody lied to you. Somebody definitely lied. Who told you this? Yes, he did. He said he did on YSM. He brought it out himself before Turkey. He brought it out himself. What are you talking about, man? Are you not seeing that he could have fought him next if he wanted to, and he's the one that said that he wanted tune-ups? How are you going to say that he wanted to fight Virgil when he himself is saying, I want 2 tune-ups? When His Excellency Turkey Al-Ashi said, tune-ups? Tune-ups? We not a charity over here. Go work with Eddie Hearn. Get your tune-ups over there. And when you're ready for the big fight, you could come back over here and we could fight. Tune-ups? No. His Excellency Turkey Al-Ashi said it himself. Tune-ups? No. We're not doing no charity over here. We not. Go over there. You sound mad funny because you're saying, show me yourself a video of Boots saying it. Well, he was dealing with Turkey, and Turkey saying it. He's not dealing with Turkey no more. So that shows that it's true. Turkey saying it. Now, if you need proof, I don't know what to tell you, Wait to see who Boots is going to fight next. Is he going to fight a big star, a big name, or somebody that you never heard of? Or somebody that's already been beat up by a bunch of fighters? Or somebody that we know is going to be a tune-up? Then you're going to know. Then you're going to know who he picked over Virgil. Because your focus is on trying to defend him. Defend him. But you don't see what's actually happening. All this time we've been saying Virgil is ducking or Boots is ducking. Well, Boots got the offer and he declined it. And you're here talking about he accepted. What are you talking about, bro? How are you going to say a guy who never signed the contract accepted the offer? Come on now. The Monk, is Pac-Man fighting Floyd? There's a possibility. There is a possibility. JJ said that has Virgil will fight. He is ready. I mean, Virgil wants to do it, but Boots, he don't want to do it. Boots was dealing with Turkey. Show me Boots dealing with Turkey. The fight with Virgil was gonna happen through Turkey. What are you not understanding about that? Turkey was gonna be involved in that fight. Did you not see Turkey say, yo, I've opted not to no longer be involved in Boots versus Virgil or whoever he's gonna fight. He wants tuna, let Eddie deal with him. Come back when you're ready for the big fights. Come on now. Ill Will. Hold on, Ill Will. You need a break, Ill Will. You keep trying to float your fake narrative. Raw Dog, Virgil is cleared. I know Virgil is cleared. That's why Ill Will need a 30-minute break so he can Google it, he can YouTube it, and find out that he's lying. You got 30-minute break to find out that you're lying, Ill Will. Get back to me later, son. JJ's in there has John. You don't need to drink. Go to sleep. Raw Dog, Turkey only wants real fights. That's it. If Boots won a tuna or two, he's not going to get it. He's not going to get big paydays. Okay, go over there. We're not going to give you this Saudi bag for easy fights. You want big money, you don't have to make the big fights over here. Turkey made that real clear. The Monk. Hope they do fight. I mean, I want to see it. We all want to see it. Boots versus Virgil is a fight that, if you guys think about it, has been building for years. For years, we've been talking about these two young, hungry lions. And it looks like, you know, they're on a collision course. It seems like it's only a matter of time till that fight has to happen. Because I believe right now it doesn't have to happen right now. Neither one of them is a champion at 154. So if neither one of them hold a title, what are they gonna fight? A title eliminator, a 10-rounder? So I don't think we really need that fight to happen next, to be fair. I think Boots versus Virgil is a fight that could wait till at least one of them is a champion. At least. Super Dim. I don't know who is Super Dim. But Super Dim, let's help you out so I can remember you. Look, Super Dim. J Smith, 134. That's my IG. What social media do you use? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok? Let me know so I can verify your profile. Super Dim. So I can remember who you are. Celtic Warrior, Turkey good for boxing. Facts. He's good and bad. Good things and bad things we've seen from Turkey. Super Dim, I am from India, brother. I know Super Dim. But in India, they have Instagram and they have social media, right? Do you have social media, Super Dim? JJ's in the house. Exactly, J Smith. There has to be a belt involved. That's a big, big fight. That's a big, big fight. So go ahead, Super Dim. Send me a DM right there from your Instagram. I gotta tell you, JJ's in their house. You know, I want to see that fight as much as a lot of people want to see it. I really want to see it. But I understand that it should wait a little bit longer till at least one of them is a world champion. At least. Right now, there isn't anything up for grabs. There isn't, anything at stake. When you have two fighters who are potential superstars, because Virgil could very well become a superstar. And the same with Boots. They both have that it factor. All the tangibles to be big stars. So when you have two guys of that level of talent facing each other, It has to be a big fight. That's why, me personally, I was even saying that they should not fight next. When Boots announced that he was going to 154, I said he should not fight next. But that's what happens. That's what happens. That is what happens, my people. Okay, so Super Dim, I don't know. I was waiting for your DM and you didn't send it to me. So I'm gonna give you a little 30-minute break so that you could try to find it and get back to me. But that's the DM. While you're on break, Super Dim, you can find the Instagram. John Parham, no way, you still eating starch? Still eat. Look, it's actually a little bit. It's a small amount, but I'm still eating it. This has been like a 40-minute breakfast. You know what? When you eat breakfast slow, you digest it better too. That's actually something that I learned when it comes to nutrition and all that stuff. Not just breakfast, any meal. Anything that you eat, it's always better to eat it slow. Although, to be honest, I'm only eating slow because I'm talking to you guys at the same time. Get them the fuck out of here. I have to make a shirt like that. Yo, I'm going to make that shirt. I'm going to make that shirt with that phrase like that. Celtic Warrior, Shushu Carrington, in my opinion, can beat any champion at 126. IBF, Leo WBO, Espinosa WBA, Ball, WBC Vargas. We got to see. We got to see. Shushu is a very talented fighter, and I believe that he's at that level. That shirt will be fire. JJ's in there. Fucking funny, J Smith. I'm telling you, man. I would totally make that shirt. Get him the fuck out of here. My people, listen. There's some big, big fights coming up. And I have to tell you, this year, 2025, has been another amazing year for boxing. People who say that boxing is down, they don't know what the hell they talking about. And usually it's the people who don't know shit about boxing anyways. Boxing is doing great right now. It's in a great place. We're getting a lot of big fights. John Parham, Inoue would cook Shu at 126. I want to see it, man. I want to see it. I really want to see that fight. Obviously, the monster would be the favorite. But Shushu Carrington, a special fighter, man. I got to see that fight happen. I just got to see it. My peoples, I'm about to end this live. But before I do, I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in this morning. Everybody who hit that like button. Over 2 hours and 30 likes. That's crazy. Hundreds of people who ducked that like button. That's crazy. But I still want to say thank you. I still want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Sharing your opinions with me. Let me know what you think about these fights. What fights you want to see. Because that's what it's about. Boxing fans, we get to express what we want. And for letting me know what y'all was eating for breakfast. Shout out to JJ Zayas, John Parham. Shout out to... Who else? Where's my peoples at? Shout out to the Monk, 636. 4-door more... What? 4-door? Damn. 4 doors, more whores. That's a weird name. Shout out to Albert Estrada. Raw Dog was also in the building, showing love, showing support. Unlaced. Woo, bam. Appreciate you, my brother. Y'all already seen it, my people. This was another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a good time talking boxing with you guys, talking about all these big fights. I'm about to get the hell out of here, but first I remind you, all of the fights from yesterday, I posted videos about them. I posted shorts. So check out my reaction to um Rohan Polanco, Shushu Carrington, Xander Zayas. Check out my reaction to their fights. I also reacted to Clarissa Shields. Congratulations to the whoa, bam, another spectacular performance from the greatest female fighter of all time. Salute, whoa, bam. There you have it, my peoples. I'm your boy Jay Smith. We're gonna do it again tomorrow, 6 o'clock in the morning. Boxing for breakfast, the best boxing show in the morning that you could ever find in this planet, in this solar system, in this Milky Way. It's Box Center, my peoples. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace, salute, one love.